White Supremacist has a scary arsenal of 18 guns. And a list of names of all the black community members, the black leaders, I mean, and the Muslim leaders within the area. Is it time to ban guns? Absolutely not, but I'm going to elaborate on that later. Okay. Now, this is actually somewhat of a response to a TYT video. That's the Young Turks. I'm going to leave it in the description below, and I want to know your thoughts and opinions on the matter. Please, link. Comment on this. I want everyone's input. Now, that being said, let me get started here. Okay, the guy murdered somebody in 1989. He's not supposed to have guns. He has 40,000 rounds of ammunition. Okay. He has body armor. Okay. Now, let's continue to talk. He's not supposed to have any guns. Body armor, the law depends on the state. In the state of Missouri, I can go buy myself some body armor if I wanted to without any real repercussions for it at all. I don't have to go through any tests or background checks or whatever. But how many times do you hear about any of these psychopaths going in with body armor? Mass majority of these idiots, the gangbangers, whenever they do crimes, they don't wear body armor. They don't. It's too much of a red flag for if they want to go out and there conduct their illegal businesses. Now, continuing on. How did the guy get the guns? Internet? The only way he can get that stuff off the internet is if he got it from Silk Road. Silk Road's one of these underground websites where you have to go through a bunch of back doors and whatnot. You can hire hitmen, you can buy arms, do a whole bunch of illegal stuff. How do I know this? My girlfriend has a friend who frequents this site just so he can window shop. I don't know why the fuck he does it, but he does it. And I find that creepy as hell that he window shops it. Okay, maybe it's not that frequent. Because otherwise, if you want to buy a gun off the internet, you have to go through an FFL dealer. The FFL dealer, before they actually hand the gun to you, they can have it in their possession after you've paid for it. And if you show up in the NICS system as somebody who should not have one, they send the gun back to the company has to refund your gun, and this part I'm talking out my ass. I assume the law will be notified, and they might do an investigation. Okay, now I'm done talking out my ass on that last part. That's what I assume. Now, straw deals. Straw sales. Okay. I need a gun. I'm not allowed to have them. I'll give you $100 if you go over here and you buy this gun for me. Okay, what model do you want? You want any ammunition with that? Okay. Go in, buy gun, make profit, go. That's a straw sale. That's illegal. It should be even more illegal than it already is. Continuing on with that. How often does it happen? It happens quite a bit, actually, but it's not the main supply for firearms or whatnot. I've had friends that were in gangs and all these other things. The vast majority of the firearms that the gang members get, they're stolen. A few gun stores get broken into. When houses get cleaned out, they find a few guns. So, and they get sold cheaper than the actual gun, what the price is on it, brand new. So, let's say my $1,000 1911 here, hanging on the edge of the bed, that'd sell for about $500. And gangbangers, they have access to better stuff anyways. They also form the little connections that get them shipped and imported from all different parts of the world. Illegally. A lot of gun companies actually make their guns in Brazil. Guess what? Many of those guns don't ever leave the facility the way that they're supposed to. They leave the facility underneath someone's clothes or whatnot. They get finished up in someone's home shop, and then they get sold to various different criminal markets. I've conducted a lot of research on that. But that continues on. And plus, we still got a lot of that old Soviet shit from when the Soviet Union was still in existence. Doesn't exist anymore, dumbasses. It's Russia now. And many of the old Soviet comm bloc nations are gone. But they had so many weapons stockpiled, just millions upon millions of rifles and other small arms, as well as RPGs and all that other crap, that it's all floating all around the world. A large portion of the time, whenever my gangbanger associates, well, not associates, acquaintances that I met at Job Corps, they would get the genuine Soviet stuff. The genuine Soviet stuff. So, there goes that right there. There's too many things stopping people from legally owning a gun, yet there's very few things that stop the illegal ownership of a gun. Now, my response to that, the way you fix this problem right here, you take away a lot of the restraints on legal ownership of a gun. Now, the NICS system, I think that's a great idea. If someone's committed certain felonies, no guns. Notice how I say certain felonies. If you commit a violent felony, you shouldn't own a gun, but if you, like, write a bad check over $20,000, yeah, you should still be allowed to own one. Because think, when that person gets out of prison, they may have fucked somebody over, and they may need to legally defend themselves. No, it's their fault for putting themselves in that position. A large portion of the time, a lot of this domestic abuse, I've met people who've been victimized because their wife said that they hit them when they didn't. Half the trailer park, the women do that shit. The other half, well, the domestic abuse is real and the women really never turn the guys in. The trailer park's about 4 blocks away from my house, so yes, I see this shit, and I cross by there almost every day that I decide I want to go on a walk, just because there's always something funny going on that I find entertaining to watch. Now, the whole thing about 40,000 rounds of ammunition, right now we got this giant trend going on known as the prepper trend. 40,000 rounds of ammunition isn't a big deal compared to a lot of the other people that I know. I know several preppers, and they got well over 200,000 rounds of ammunition sitting in their basement under lock and key. And 18 guns, unless those were all fully automatic assault rifles, there's really no worry there. Well, other than, well, he wasn't supposed to have them. I know plenty of people who have more than 18 guns. I know people with 40 and 50 guns. There was a time when I had 10 guns, which isn't 18, but still. It's a lot of guns. What did I do with all my guns? Each gun served a purpose. I had a hunting rifle, I had, well, it wasn't an AR, but it was a knockoff of one. One of those AR lookalikes in 22 long rifle. I had several different target shooting pistols, and now I'm just down to that 1911 because I have bills to pay. There's a shotgun downstairs that doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my dad. 18 guns, don't complain about 18 guns. Complain about what the guns actually are. Okay, if it's a semi-automatic AK, that's nothing to complain about. Well, unless it's this case where the guy wasn't supposed to have the damn thing in the first place. But he's got all those trends that make him off to be a psychopath, and yes, he should be investigated. Among other things. This is one of the few people I believe deserve to be put in Gitmo. Anyways, like I said before, oh shit, 9 minutes, 15 seconds. Okay, that's a bit long. I made this long-winded, but I want to know your thoughts and opinions on this. I want to know everyone's thoughts and opinions. I want them to like and comment. And if you don't like what I had to say, I want you to dislike it. This guy shouldn't have had these firearms in the first place, and yet he still had them. Why? Because there's too many backdoor ways to get them. Let me tell you what. Those backdoor ways, the mass majority of them exist in every nation that bans firearms. The straw sales, okay, that doesn't exist in most of these nations that banned them, and yet all the other methods do. Example, Silk Road and all that other crazy shit. You just gotta talk to the right people, and they can hook you up. Anyways, take care. I hope this was informative. I hope I may have provoked some thought. But the United States is too large of a country where you can effectively control firearms at all, so honestly, more legislation isn't going to work. Have a nice day.